Hi everyone, it's Margaret here with 60 and Me. I think as a community, I would say that one word that describes you, in my opinion, is the word empathy. I think we have a very empathic group of women here in our 60 and Me community, and it's a kindness that we've developed over the years. And I think it's kind of that wisdom, that's the elusive wisdom that we're supposed to get when we're in our 60s. It's really, an understanding of life and of what people go through, what the challenges that they face, and we have a warmth and an empathy and an understanding. I think that's such an important element of getting older for me. But I think along with that comes something that I want to talk about today, because I think it's really important, and that is, are we caring about people too much? Are we helping people too much? And the specific thing is the hidden issues around being helpful and being kind and supporting and making life easy, in quotes, for our grandchildren and our children. Many of us, and I put myself in this category, we actually, were raised in a home or in a situation that was not, I didn't have a wealthy background. I mean, I had, we struggled. We really did struggle. And I think that was kind of the tone of a lot of women in our 60s today. And we want better for our families. I know so many people that I talk to, made decisions in their 30s and 40s, to create a world for their children that was better than what they had. And so I think one of the outcomes of that is that we gave a lot. We bought them things. If we didn't have something, we really wanted it when we were little, we got it for them. As soon as they asked for it, it was like, you want to play drums? Here's some drums. And it was just that kind of wanting to give them a happier, more abundant lifestyle than perhaps we had when we were younger. And so in doing that, I think I'm talking about myself now, because I'm being honest here, that I gave my kids a lot. I worked really, really hard, and I somehow equated, working hard and earning a lot of money, at least a reasonable amount, certainly more than my parents had, would enable me to give them a better life. For me, another thing was moving. We moved every single year when I was young, and that had a big impact on my life. So I really tried very hard when we moved to new places, which wasn't very often when my kids were young. We didn't, I tried to keep them in one place, one school, one life that was connected rather than segmented by moves all the time. Maybe some of you can relate to that. But so in doing that, I think that, we had this natural empathy and compassion and desire to make life easier for our kids. And I think we do that also with our grandchildren. So because we grew up with limited resources, and we then were maybe given an option for, giving them more, we maybe forgot to let them grow through their own challenges and through their own struggles. It's natural, it's natural to want to give, to move the generations forward. I think that's, and actually I talk about this a lot with my family, is that, I now see my life is, getting towards the last bit of it, the last chapter, that they are now going to take it forward. And so everything that I did for them is going to be something they want to improve on. And I'm already seeing that, actually. It's quite fascinating. We're already seeing that with my children, that they're actually now trying with their families and my grandkids to maybe pull back a little bit, make them wait, be a little bit patient, because they saw the outcome of having things, of having me give them things because they wanted them, and not have to work it through. So I think the desire to want to share more with our families takes a shift. And we want to then imbue the gifts or the money or the car or the house or whatever you bought for your children or help them to purchase. It has this kind of unintended outcome of them missing out on their growth, missing out on struggles. And I remember, there's a guy called Gary Vee who I listen to on YouTube all the time, and on other channels, and he's actually very cool. He's a billionaire now. But he worked in his dad's wine shop, for 10 years and didn't make any money, and now he's, he just was such a workaholic and so passionate about building his own life that now with his kids, he says, I'm not going to give them money. He said, because I learned, so much through the struggle. And why would I make that easy for them? Now he's at the end of the spectrum, because I don't think it's necessary to be not help at all, because that's part of they're getting better. The generations get better. You want them to have a home. You want them to be able to live in a under a roof and have a reasonably happy, healthy, and safe life. But they didn't learn about resilience and problem solving, and maybe not how to face challenges and how to overcome them. So I think as we try to give a lot to our grandchildren and to our children now that we are older and maybe have more resources, we actually then, there's another aspect to it, which we start to relive the grief and the trauma from our own childhood, from our own backgrounds. And we realize that, I don't know, you just start to see it in perspective. Like the reason that you did those things with your children and grandkids is that you were trying to make it better for them, but you still have the pain and the hurt that you had to go through when you were little. For me, I was very fortunate in the sense that I didn't have any like horrible, negativity in my home. We just didn't have anything, and I just had to wear shoes, that didn't fit me, and I had to, wear sweaters that my mom knitted, which were great, and I didn't have, the opportunity to do the things that I thought I wanted to do. But anyway, the point is that as your children, react and lose the opportunity to grow, you also go back into your past and, relive those old emotions. Is this making sense to anyone? Are you kind of feeling the same as me? That perhaps, just perhaps, in trying to make their lives better, you actually taken away an opportunity for them to grow into the person that that perhaps you have become through those struggles. That to be honest with you, I actually really appreciated after we moved so many times. I actually appreciated it in the work I ended up doing, because with communications and marketing and working at Microsoft and now doing 60andMe, it's given me a huge empathy for people who don't feel like have social skill challenges that that they can't deal with new crowds, or they're nervous about meeting new people. That was never a problem for me because I just had to do it all the time. But my grandkids, and I'm now trying to teach them, for example, how to mix with people, how to say hello, how to introduce themselves, how to not be afraid of meeting a new person. Of course, in a protected way if it's your grandkids, of course. But it's important, I think, to set the boundaries, because in an effort to do so much for everybody else, number one, you've got to deal with the things that brought you to this place, and you've got to live with your own emotions and your own life experiences, and develop your own wisdom and your own peace and your own acceptance of the life that you had. But at the same time, by acknowledging your past and realizing the good things that came out of it, the positive things that came out of it, you can then teach that, pass that on to your children. Now with adult children, that's going to be a little challenging because you've already done the stuff that brought them to where they are today. So now you've got to live with that. And I know from our conversation online and our stories about estrangement that a lot of you did things in what you thought was the best way, in a positive way, kind and a loving way, but you were not there yourself. You didn't have the ability to do it in a meaningful way for them, so you're dealing with their struggles. But I think we've got an opportunity now to maybe find a balance between giving things to your grandkids, giving things to your adult children, because you feel like you want their lives to be better than yours, but be aware of the unintended outcome that might have in not giving them the strength and the character and the ability to go on with their lives when you're not here anymore. You've got it's a very, isn't it a delicate? I'm like sitting here looking back at my childhood. I'm looking ahead to my future. I'm looking at the world I created through my decisions when my children were younger. But I do have an opportunity with my grandkids. And I now look, do I really want to provide them with everything I didn't have as a child? No, I'm learning. And maybe that's, for people that have grandkids, that's our opportunity to kind of find a way here that's the middle ground. But I don't know, I just found this super interesting conversation, and I hope that you have too. I'd love you to share your thoughts, your stories, and how you feel about whether you in helping your grandchildren and your kids are maybe not aware that you're holding them back in some ways from growing and living life and being their own authentic selves. I'd love to have a conversation on this. I might do a live show on this topic because I think it's it's super important. And let me know what you think about it. Share your stories, share your thoughts. I'd be very, very interested. And thank you for being here. If you loved the video, found it useful, please share it, like it. Join our group here on 16Me YouTube, and check out our other channels. We're on everywhere. We're in Instagram, Facebook, website, TikTok. We are, just trying to reach the widest group and share this beautiful journey of aging. Everyone can benefit from it, even us. Take good care, everybody. Sending you lots and lots of love. I respect you. I love you. I'm glad you're here. Take care.